So the other day I had a really busy day. I was just full, so many things I had to get done, and unfortunately I was not able to play any games. So it was getting pretty late, around the time I usually go to bed, and I really wanted to play Far Cry 5. And so I thought to myself, you know what, I'm just going to play the game for 30 minutes, let me just sit down. You guys know where this is going. I kept playing the game, was having a blast. I'm like, okay, cool. It wasn't 30 minutes, it was in fact hours. So a lot of you guys already know that one of my favorite PS4 games is Far Cry 4. I have spent dozens and dozens of hours on that incredibly fun open world game. And so obviously I was really excited for Far Cry 5. And of course it's a totally different setting this time around. It takes place in Montana, and the whole story, you kind of give you a touch base, give you a brief synopsis. You're sent in as a rookie agent. You have to arrest this insane cult leader, and the arrest for this cult leader don't exactly pan out as well as you had hoped, and so you're essentially at first kind of on your own. But ultimately, to succeed, you don't want to be on your own. You're going to want to enlist and hire folks to fight by your side. And going back to with playing the game for hours and just having a blast, these are the games, and this is one of the reasons why I am a gamer, to have fun. Far Cry 5 has such a great flow to it, from going from mission to side mission to going and exploring here and there. Now with Far Cry 4, obviously I love that game, but let me tell you one of the big differences I noticed with Far Cry 4 and Far Cry 5. With Far Cry 4, I noticed, it's a huge map. You go from point A to point B, and there were occasionally enemy convoys or things taking place that you had to take care of, or people trying to take you down. With Far Cry 5, though, it was peppered, and it was a lot more concentrated, where you'd be driving, there'd be enemy after enemy, or there'd be convoy, or it was just insane. It was a lot more concentrated with the amount of enemies and people who are trying to take you down. I enjoyed both games, but it's a lot more of a potent dose with Far Cry 5. Now, also mention, a lot of you guys already know this, but Far Cry 5 also has drop in and out co-op. I had the opportunity to play a couple hours with Joel Valley from Media Glitch. We played a couple hours, played some of the missions, and this game is fantastic for a co-op. These missions are crazy, and the people that you interact with are very diverse, very colorful, and you guys are going to have a whole lot of fun. If you are into just fast action, high octane, lots of explosions, lots of crazy things happen, you're not going to be bored. If you want to have fun, if you want to kind of be on the edge of your seat with super fun excitement, this is totally for you. Is Far Cry 5 worth it? Totally. I do. Let me just touch upon also a couple different things. There's the Far Cry 5 arcade mode. Now, with this, first off, there is the multiplayer. The multiplayer, let me be honest with you guys, multiplayer on Far Cry 5, it's okay. It's not great. And to be honest, in its current state, it's nothing special. There's a lot of multiplayer games out there, first-person shooter multiplayer games, that do it a whole lot better. That's not to say that these maps don't look great. That's not to say that you won't have any fun, but I'm just saying it's an average, okay multiplayer experience as far as like team deathmatch. Now with the arcade mode, as far as there is the arcade level editor, and let me explain on that. That's totally different from the multiplayer deathmatch and selecting those maps. With the arcade level editor, members of the Far Cry gaming community have been making maps. Some of these maps are better than others, and to kind of like point that out, gamers can rate these levels, give them a star rating. And this is awesome because some of these levels or missions that these gamers create are really incredible. And just to kind of like, what you might be thinking, well, Jimmy, what do these level editors, what do they have to work with? Well, they can place up around, there's 9,000 different items for them to choose from. Lots of, these levels are pretty much limited to your imagination. And again, some of these levels are better than others, but you'll be able to kind of like, okay, this one looks good. This has 4 stars, so this one looks good as 4.5 stars, which is awesome. So that's a huge added bonus, the arcade mode for Far Cry 5. The most fun though I've had is during the story mode and with the co-op, being able to get in these different vehicles, being able to, you know, enlist and hire people at your disposal, and also animals at your disposal. Say, for instance, a dog that you can have a companion at your side. And at times, your dog's going to be taken down, unfortunately. But the great news is in time, your dog will be readily available to, again, fight at your side. It's like a countdown period or a period before the dog or animal can respawn. This is, you know, again, if you are into quality open world experiences, I highly recommend that Far Cry 5 is added to your collection, guys. This is a beautiful game. It is very fun. And if you're a fan of the Far Cry series, this is definitely a no-brainer. A lot of times, guys, I talk about games that you can pick up on the cheap. And a lot of games that have been coming out this year are games that maybe I would say, you know, definitely wait for a price drop. Not to say it's not worth your time, but yeah, pick it up when it's 30 or 20 bucks. Far Cry 5, I would definitely be comfortable with you guys picking up at full retail release. Of course, there's a lot of games coming out this year. If you're totally overwhelmed at the moment, yeah, wait till it hits 30 bucks or 20 bucks. If you don't have a whole lot of money, that's totally understandable. But let me just kind of let you know, sooner or later, this one definitely deserves to be in your collection if you guys are fans of high quality AAA experiences. Far Cry 5, guys, I definitely give my stamp of approval. I enjoyed it a whole lot. And guys, let me know what you think about this game for those of you guys that have it and have been playing it. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you later.